Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So for the people who are already following me on my Instagram, might already seen this card, but I still wanted to do a how-to video so you can make it as well. I also have a little surprise for you, and I will be doing a 7-day Halloween marathon. That means that I will be making 7 cards for each day all week long. I hope that you will enjoy watching this as much as I did making it. And yeah, well, let's get started, shall we? This pumpkin patch die is a colorized die from Tim Holtz's new Halloween collection, and I think it's one of the easiest colorized die there is. Sissix has perfect videos where you can see how to put everything together, and I will put a link to it in the description box below. For the base layer for both these pumpkins, I will be coloring them with some distress ink in the colors mustard seed, and I will also be using carved pumpkin, wild honey and spiced marmalade. For the big parts of this die I didn't use any double-sided tape. Instead of tape I used some regular adhesive. For the second part I use some carved pumpkin, and all the dies will go perfectly through the sidekick. This is the first time that I made this die, so I didn't know for sure what to do with the little pieces, so I just kept them aside, just in case. The third layer of the pumpkin is colored with some wild honey. And I'm really sorry if you hear the noise on the background. My neighbors are quite, what's the good word? They're quite loud. And a little piece. I call it a little piece with some spiced marmalade. And I'm using Distress heavy cardstock, but the white one. Alright, and we're almost finished with the first pumpkin. Although we still have to do the greenery. And that's the only part that I will be using some double-sided tape. Some wild honey. I'm using some distress ink, but you can use your oxide as well. Why not? Right? Just use whatever you have, is what I always say. Alright, so far so good. The last piece of the part of the pumpkin. I really love my sidekick, it's my best friend. It's so handy. You just put it on a table and you just go swish, put everything in the machine. It's just a great thingy to have. And this is where I made a mistake. Instead of using some double-sided tape, I used some liquid adhesive, and I really didn't like the outcome, so I did a do-over. And the second one was way better. I used the colors Mowed Lawn and Pine Needles for the greenery that's going to be on top of the pumpkin. This is some pine needle. Some cleaning. I'm terrible. So this is the do-over. And this time I used some double-sided tape, and that's why I ran it through the sidekick a few times, just to be sure that the die will cut. And I still haven't found my my other tool, my Tim Holtz spoke tool. I can't seem to find where it is. It's ridiculous. I know, right? I think I will get a new one. So now I'll be using some vintage photo to distress the pumpkin a little bit more, because everything looks better with a little bit of vintage photo, don't you think? I'll use vintage photo for all the layers. It just makes it a little bit more edgy, less clean. The base part. Don't forget the eyes and the mouth. And a little piece for the shading. You see the difference between the pumpkin with the vintage photo and a big pumpkin without the vintage photo? This is the other pumpkin, the large one. And if you have other stuff like glitter or like glossy accents, just use it. I think that will be very cool. I was feeling really bummed because I was too late with ordering the Halloween mica stains, so I do have the glitter and the texture paste of the Halloween series, but I don't have the mica stains, so yep, too bad for me, but it's okay. There are worse things. Okay, So now we're putting the greenery on the right spot of the pumpkin. Some more vintage photo. And we're almost done with the pumpkins. The only thing that needs to be done is to stick everything together. And for this part I use some liquid adhesive. I will put all the art supplies that I've used in the description box below. It's the first layer. Then the little 3D thingy. Or the little shading thing. I don't know. I don't know the proper name. English is not my native language, guys, so bear with me. And the last part of the small pumpkin. I hate to have stickiness on my fingers, so yeah. And I'm using some clean piece of paper towel just to remove the adhesive. And I really like how they come out. And after this we will go to the big pumpkin. You see how easy it is to do this colorized dye? Some colorized dyes are just way too time consuming. Like the costume party and the count. Oh boy. I'm not even going to try those colorized dyes. It's just not for me. Alright. So for the whole month of October I will be doing and making a lot of Halloween projects. If you like Halloween, awesome. If you don't, I'm sorry, but yeah, I love Halloween. I don't really celebrate it. It's not a big thing here where I live, but I do love to make Halloween cards and other Halloween decorations. So who knows what else I got in store for you for the upcoming weeks of October. Okay, so that's it for a pumpkin. So let's move on to the background of the card. I used a round die to cut out the moon from some masking paper, and I started coloring around the moon with some broken china. After the light color, we are going to use some faded jeans. Just go back between the colors so that the blending will look smoothly. Going back to the broken china. And now some more faded jeans. Broken china again. And now I'm going to some seedless preserves. And back to some faded jeans. And some black soot. Going back to the seedless preserves. The reason why I do this is just to give everything a nice blend. You don't want to have any harsh lines. Okay. And I think I'm almost done with the background. With the inking part I mean. Yeah. So I'm using the Mr. Bone stamp set. The CMS 345. And I really like this branch. I use it quite a lot in my Halloween series. And here I decided that I needed to spritz some water just to give it a more oldie look. And these are beds from the die set Crazy Beds. And I don't know if these are still available. I think that they're discontinued. I just got them out from some black cardstock with some double-sided tape. And I also decided that I wanted to use some glossy accents. And I cut out 3 of these beds. This is the second one. I will be also cutting a third one. But first we need to do something else as well. And I will be using some Greenery. Yeah. This Greenery die set is also from Tim Holtz. And I'm using some Oxide Sprays. I think it's Mowed Lawn and Pine Needles again, but I don't know for sure which colors I used. I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget to write things down and then I just can't remember. So this is how they look, and again I will be using some vintage photo just to make them match with the pumpkins. These dies are so versatile that you can use them for summer, spring, for Halloween, for every season, really. Okay. So let's stick everything together. Yeah, I will be stamping something with some white embossing powder. I will be stamping the word beware, and it's from the same stamp set that I used before. It's from the Mr. Bones stamp set. Yeah, I won't bother you with all the heating and cleaning and all that stuff. So I'll just move on for you guys. So this is one of the branches that I did. I will put this one on the bottom. The second one goes on the right. This one goes on the left. If you prefer to use some double-sided tape for these branches, please do. You do you, right? And this one goes in the middle. And I didn't even bother to remove the adhesive because these pumpkins will cover it anyway, so why bother? And it will dry clear as well. On the little pumpkin I did put some 3D tape, some foam tape, just to give it some more dimension on the card. And the last things, the bats. And I've decided that I want to mount this card on some black cardstock. And this is the end result. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it, and I hope to see you tomorrow. Same time, same channel, and happy crafting for now. Bye bye.